loads of people are coming back to Thailand now, and I mean loads. If you are planning to come back to Thailand in this year, it's a new year, then you're probably going to want to stick around because I can assure you that you are going to make some of these mistakes. What is up, guys? This is Brett here from brettdev.com, and today in this video I want to run through some of the top mistakes that I see either tourists or expats making when they first come to Thailand. Now, these are rookie mistakes, they're amateur mistakes. Once you've been here for a little while, you don't make these mistakes. However, when you first come here, either if that's to, come on holiday or to stay here for a long time, you most definitely are going to make them, and they're going to cost you, say big time. They're not like going to endanger your life or anything, but they might cost you a bit of money or something like that, okay? And this video might now save you some money. And if you want to come into Thailand, then maybe share it with somebody else who is, okay? Prevent them from making these mistakes. So, number one of the most biggest mistakes I see people make all the time is they pre-book everything before they get here. Now, when you come to Thailand, you don't have to pre-arrange anything. It's not like a regular holiday. If you go to Spain, I'm from England, so we go on holiday to Spain. I don't know what you Americans do, where you go on holiday, Mexico, Canada, probably don't want to go up there. But yeah, when you normally go on holiday, you book everything before you leave. That means your hotels, your accommodation is your hotels, your transport, your routes, where you're planning on going, all that sort of shit. When you come to Thailand, you don't have to book anything. All right, so many people I meet here and they're like, just got here and they're like, I said, where are you staying? They go, well, I booked this Airbnb for a month before I got here, or, well, I've got to go here because I've got my hotel booked, and they plan out this big route. The whole idea of Thailand is it's flexible. You can book on a whim. You can book your hotels on the same day. If I was coming here, I'd probably book a hotel for one night, for the first night when I get here. If I was arriving in the morning, I might not even do that. I might just book it on the same day. The point is, you don't have to pre-book anything when you come to Thailand. You can just do everything on the fly. You can book your hotels the same day. You can get across the country on the same day. You can book domestic flights on the same day. Doesn't cost any more. So yeah, don't pre-book anything before you come here, because you're just going to lock yourself into like this predefined box that you don't have to be in, okay? Come here and just be carefree and book as you go. So that's number one. Second mistake is packing everything that you're going to think you need when you get to Thailand, as if Thailand is just like, I don't know, some like dust bowl that doesn't have anything. Like, you don't need to pack anything. You don't need to pack your sunscreen. You don't need to pack a million towels. You don't need to pack clothes and hats. Just come with an empty suitcase. You can buy everything here. Anything that you might need, you can get in Thailand. Thailand has absolutely everything that you have in the West. Everything that I would need, everything that a normal person would need. There might be some like odd stuff like medication or something, fine, bring that. But you don't need to overpack and think that you're not going to be able to get anything in Thailand. I mean, Thailand even has like a Tesco's, all right? So if you're from England, you know what Tesco's is. Thailand has Tesco's, and it's exactly the same as Tesco's in England. So it literally has everything. Third mistake, if you're going to come to Thailand and if you're going to be driving, if you're going to be renting a motorbike, or if you're going to be renting a car or something like that, a lot of people don't think about this. They come here with their passports, they go, okay, I'm going to rent a motorbike. Now, depending on where you are in the country, if you're in Chiang Mai, like where I live, you're going to need to bring with you an international driver's permit. Now, you can apply for those at the post office from your home country. In England, it's the post office. In America, I'm not sure where it'd be, but what it is an international driver's permit. And basically, if you have a license in your home country, you can get that, yeah? Especially if you're going to be coming here for longer than a short period. Because if you're riding a bike in Chiang Mai, for example, the police have roadblocks, and if you don't have an international driver's permit, they're going to fine you constantly. So you're going to keep coming across roadblocks, and you're going to keep getting fined, and it's going to cost you quite a bit of money. Now, if you go through one and you get fined once, it's probably not a big deal. But if you are staying here, like I say, long term, then make sure you get an international driver's permit before you come out here, especially if you're going to be, renting a motorbike or renting a car. Number four, so a lot of people, when they come here, they've got their bank card from their home country. They need to get money. So what do? They go to the ATM and they start using the ATM like it's going out of fashion. I've seen this loads of times. People run over to the ATM, they're like, get 2,000 baht out, get 1,000 baht out, just be using the ATM all day. In Thailand, when you use an ATM, they charge you between 200 and 250 baht every time you use the ATM. So that's like an ATM fee. That's only for international cards. It's not for Thai cards. So that means if you go to the bank to draw out, I don't know, 1,000 baht, you're going to pay $8. You're going to pay like 20-25% of what you're drawing out just to get your money out. So it's one thing to be aware of. Be very, very careful if you use ATMs in Thailand. And there is a little hack that you can use to get around this. If you want to get money out of an international account and you're here and you don't have a Thai bank account or whatever, you can go into like any Thailand bank. So if you go into the mall or whatever and you find like a Bangkok bank, a lot of these banks will have money exchanges. All you need to do is go in there with your international card, take your passport, and they will get any amount of money out of your account for you, and you can avoid the ATM fee. So I did that for a long time when I first got here before I had a Thai bank account. And I would just go in once a week, get like 20,000 baht out for the week or whatever amount I needed, and give them my passport, give them my card, and that'll be it. There's no fee, no ATM fee. So that's a really good hack to get money out of an international account without having to get fleeced constantly by the ATM. I think the ATM here kind of depends on your home country's withdrawal limits as well. So you might want to do that. You might want to call your bank before you get here and have them up your withdrawal limit, because even if you're going to use the ATMs, I think my card will allow me to withdraw 20,000 baht at a time. So if you're paying 200 baht fee and if you have to use an ATM, then you could at least just withdraw the max out at one time, right? So you only pay the fee once. But again, you need to speak to your bank before you come out here and just get them to increase your withdrawal limit. Because if you've got a withdrawal limit of like 10,000 baht, you know, you're going to be paying double on the fees, okay? So that's a good tip for, that's a mistake you can easily make when you first get here. Number 5 is signing long-term lease agreements. So if you're coming to Thailand and you're going to stay here long-term, some like condo owners, they'll try and get you to sign up for a year, like 12-month lease. And what often happens is a lot of people will come here, they'll go, oh, that's a great deal. Don't know anything. They don't know anything about the area they're living in. They don't know if that's a great deal or not. It seems like a great deal compared to where you're from in your home country. So you go ahead and sign a 12-month lease. And then like a week later, you find like a deal that's like twice as good, half the price in a much better area. Because if you're a noob, you don't know this, right? If you're a rookie, you haven't had time to explore. So the deals you think you're getting, they are good deals compared to your home country when you first get off the plane, but you can get some really good deals. So don't be going away and signing 12-month lease agreements on apartments, anything like that. There's no need. Some places will try and get you to do it, but at least 50% of the rental accommodation in Thailand will be happy with a 3-month or even just a month by month. If you first get in here, I wouldn't do anything longer than a month. If you go into a place and they say, oh no, sorry, it's minimum 3 month, minimum 6-month contract, your first month here should be spent exploring, trying to find deals, trying to figure out where you want to stay long term. So I would just do month to month, and there are tons of condos that do month to month, so there's really no need to sign a 12-month lease agreement. That's kind of a big mistake, and it will kind of trap you in one place for a year. The way the condo lease agreements work, you don't get like fleeced for the whole year. What generally happens is if you signed a 12-month lease agreement, you would pay 2 months deposit plus the month that you're living in. So you'd kind of, well, some places will only ask for 1 month's deposit. So it'd be between 2 and 3 months of rent up front. And if you break that lease agreement within like the 12-month period, for example, you just don't get your deposit back. So it's not a big deal. Like you could still move and you wouldn't be on the hook for like the whole year's rent. You just lose your deposit basically. But I would advise if you're coming here for the first time, then don't, sign up for a whole year-long lease. It's not a good idea because you're going to regret it within a couple of weeks when you find a much better deal somewhere else. Number 6, are we up to number 6 now? Can't remember. This is a good tip for people that are staying here long term, or I've even seen people try and do this when they're staying short term, is thinking that you need to get a visa agent to help you with everything and to help you with your visas. So especially people that are staying long term, say you want to stay on a retirement visa or some other type of visa, a lot of people will go directly to a visa agent and pay, not extortionate fees, but they'll pay like several $100s to do something that could essentially be done yourself. Okay, the thought of going to an immigration office, if you've never done it before, can be daunting, I guess. You think everyone's down there's going to be speaking Thai, it's going to be impossible. The immigration is actually really helpful, so a lot of the visa stuff you can just do yourself. All you need to do is go down there, tell them what you want to do. There's actually foreigners that work down there, like as volunteers, that will just help you out, especially in Chiang Mai. I don't know about other places, but I'm assuming it's pretty similar. And all you need to do is go down there, tell them what visa you want. They'll give you a big list of documents. They'll tell you how you can get the documents. You can go on the internet. There's loads and loads of blog posts that will walk you through the entire process. There's this misconception in Thailand sometimes where people feel like they can't do it themselves, or they'll get rejected if they try to do it themselves. It's not the case at all. You can get any visa you want yourself. There's no need to go for a visa agent. The visa agents are there purely for convenience. So save yourself some money, especially if you're going to get a retirement visa or something like that, and just do it yourself. You know, if you're married, do your marriage visa yourself. It's probably a fucking ball ache, like when you first do it, figuring out all the documents, and there is a ton of documents you need to get and stuff. But once you've done it once, you know how to do it then for every year that you live here, and you're going to save yourself, you know, hundreds of thousands of baht over the long run by doing it yourself. And it's going to become easier and easier every time. So yeah, it's a misconception that you need to hire a visa agent to handle your visas when you come to Thailand. And especially if you're here on a tourist visa, just doing an extension or something like that, then that's dead easy. You just go down there. It takes, you know, an hour. Just speak to the people, tell them what you want to do. They'll tell you how to do it. Or ideally look at a blog post before you go, so you're a little bit more prepared, so you don't clog up the system or whatever. But yeah, it's very easy. You can do your visas by yourself. You don't need a visa agent, unless the only time you need a visa agent is if you're getting like a specialist visa. Maybe you might be required. Well, it depends. If you're getting like an education visa, you go through your school. If you're getting a work visa, your job's going to do it for you. But yeah, for like retirement, marriage, tourists, just you can do it yourself, not a problem. Okay, so I think we're up to number 7. Not getting your own transport. So a lot of people come here, they're scared to ride a motorbike. They've got like a bicycle, or they'll walk everywhere, and they'll kind of stay trapped into like one little neighborhood, depending on where they're living. Even if that's, I suppose in Bangkok you get on the trains and stuff, but if you're going to be living in Chiang Mai or somewhere outside of Bangkok, you really need your own transport. You really need to get a motorbike, and you really need to get over the fear of riding one. You know, learn to ride a scooter, get around on a scooter, because if you don't, there's so much of the city that you won't get to see. All right, now maybe a bicycle you'd be okay, but saying that, a bicycle I believe in Thailand is more dangerous than a motorbike, because you can't get yourself out of a jam if you're in one. But definitely don't walk everywhere. A lot of people come here and they just walk around everywhere, and they stay in like a little area. You know, like digital nomads have got a bad reputation for doing this. They'll move to a place called Niman in Chiang Mai, and they'll just stay in that little area, and that's not Thailand. You don't know anything about the city if you just stay in Niman. If you just stay in any neighborhood, you don't really know anything about the city. And that's one of the main benefits of coming here. That's what's so fun and great about the place, is exploring, because it's so fascinating. Every neighborhood's so different. There's so much stuff going on all over the place, but you're never going to get to see that. You're never going to get a view of what it's actually like unless you have your own transport and you actually get out there and actually explore. Okay, so that's a big mistake I see a lot of people make. I mean, I know people that have been here for years and they'll just walk around one neighborhood. You know, you need to get out and actually see the city, because that's one of the biggest joys of living in Thailand, is exploring. And you can only really do that if you have your own form of transport. Taxis aren't going to cut it, right? You need to have a motorbike, and you're missing out massively if you don't get one. Number 8, this is the final mistake that you may make, and this is a pretty obvious one, but it is not learning any Thai, or not making any attempt to learn any Thai. Now, I can't speak great Thai. You don't need to be able to speak great Thai, but if you can learn just a little bit, just a couple of phrases, it's going to help you in a huge way. Okay, like you're going to get way further just being able to say thank you, you know, hello, just little things. For example, like if you know how to say no thank you in Thai, and you're walking down the street and the tuk-tuks are fucking harassing you, saying they want to give you a ride everywhere, if you say my ao cab, which is no thank you in Thai, they just leave you alone, right? They're not going to harass you. If you walk into a bar and all the bar girls are harassing you, and you say my ao, they just leave you alone. They're not going to harass you. Yeah, it's way better. If you go to a market and you speak a little bit of Thai and you know how to ask how much it is, they're not going to overcharge you. So just knowing little tiny bits of Thai, not so much to have a conversation with, but just to let other Thai people know that you know a bit. What it basically says is you're a little bit savvy, right? So you've been around the block, so don't try shit as if I just got off the plane, as if I'm like a fucking somebody that's here for a week and you're just gonna like fleece me or whatever. Not that they do that, but you know, it's just a it'll make you stand out a little bit, and it's much easier, give you a bit of an easier time. So try to learn just a little bit of Thai. Also, just for like politeness sake, like you see a lot of foreigners, they know no Thai at all, and they just look like dicks a lot of the time because they come across as really rude because they don't know anything and they don't make any attempt to learn anything. And obviously, if you're in here on holiday, you're not going to know, but you can still learn how to say please and thank you. And hello, do you get what I mean? Like, just learn the basics, Thai. Make some effort to learn just a little bit and just try, and it goes a fucking long way compared to if you just don't try whatsoever and you just speak to Thai people as if they should just speak your language, and you forget you're not in your country, you're in their country, okay? So that is a big mistake that people make, and it probably makes life harder for them, right? So just do your best, try to learn just a little bit of Thai. So that's it, guys. Those are 8 rookie mistakes I see people making all the time. Now, I'm sure that I have left off tons of different mistakes, and a large portion of you guys that watch these videos live in Thailand. So what I want you to do, if you don't mind, is go down into the comments below and tell me what other mistakes you see expats, tourists making when they first come to Thailand. What are the rookie mistakes? Let us know so other people can read the comments and can avoid them. And if you are interested in staying in Thailand long term, then make sure you check out my links in the description. That's all for now, guys, and I hope you enjoyed the video. I will see you in the next one. Cheers.